there is no other system that allows you to be able to do what life insurance allows you to do when it's structured correctly. That is a huge thing. It has to be structured correctly.
Okay, and that's how it's done. Is it structured correctly? So that means you're like, how many agents do you think are out there like you, Chris, in the United States right now?
Oh, jeez. I'd say probably less than 1,000 nationally. I would say that actually would do these types of policies and understand them, the inner workings of them. There's less than 1,000, over 1 million agents out there, but most of them are just simply selling you insurance.
Chris is amazing. Chris said 1,000 agents. Chris is one of 1,000 out of 300 million. Thank you, Chris. I'm in good company. I like being in rare company, man. You know,
you're in rare company, man. It just don't happen.
Yeah, that's awesome. I would like to think of myself as in the top 1,000 of what I do, but man, I mean, the numbers for what I do is different. But geez, I mean, that's awesome. So it's how it's structured, and that's what makes you so unique. So,
right.
How do we get involved with something like this if it is at the level where, you know, I got to go to a special guy? So now we know that you're the special guy, you're the legal guy, you know, right. How do we do it?
Well, the first step is to get a snapshot of where you are. One thing that we do is we do a data sheet on everyone, and we'll give you a picture of your individual situation, because everybody's situation is different. Not everybody is going to fit this system. It's just simple as that. You got to have some discipline in place. You got to have some discretionary income in place. There's different things that you've got to have in place in order for this to even work for you. So, and you got to qualify for it. It is life insurance. So we've got to do a data sheet on you to find out your individual situation and see how the numbers would work for you. That is the first step. You can request, of course, a data sheet from me. You can email me at info@ffecorlando.com. That's info@ First Financial Education Centers Orlando.com, ffecorlando.com. And just request the data sheet. I'll be happy to send that out to you. Also, there's a little presentation I send out to you, kind of explain to you how this works, give you a basic synopsis of creating your own family banking system, and gives you a example in that presentation of how it worked for a family that we call Mark and Joyce in this presentation. So we try to basically educate you on the system, whether or not it is for you or not. My whole thing and my company's goal is to educate you first and foremost, so that you make an informed decision. It is not just about putting you into something and you have no clue what this is. That's not what we're about. Any and everyone that I talk to, they understand the inner workings of it, because I'm constantly grilling them on, okay, well, what's this situation? What should you do when this happens? What should you do when that happens? They can almost tell me how it works. So by the time we're done with you, and before you spend a dime, you will know exactly how this can or cannot work for you.
Info at First Financial, what is it? Education Centers?
Yes, ffecorlando.com.
All right, I'm gonna type it into the chat for people that didn't hear it.
Yeah.
Orlando.com.
Yes, sir.
All right, cool. I typed it in the chat, everyone. It's in the chat. Info at fecorlando.com.
Yeah.
And so, all right, Chris, we do have a question for you. I'm gonna get to it, but yeah, Chris. So the thing about it is, okay, you know, they have to, you know, pretty much know where they are, and I think that's a big issue in the marketplace to address out here nowadays. A lot of people don't know where they are, man.
Right.
And you know, I really do want to do an episode about, you know, people not utilizing the debt. Right. I think that me and you can have a great conversation. There are a lot of people losing household capital income, wealth for their children's education, for their own education is being lost because they don't use private banking. And and a lot of people don't understand it's not, you know, this isn't colloquial, conventional, go down to some bank and get your insurance policy stuff. You know, and I really do encourage people to think about that is when you have when you're paying for anything, you are practicing a form of banking. And point being is the banking that we're talking about is specifically is private banking and specifically family household banking on a daily basis. And so I think that a lot of people, they try to separate banking like, oh, that's the bank and then this is me. No,
Yeah.
Your family household is operating as a bank. There's money that comes into that household. There's money that leaves that household. Exactly. And by money leaving that household, there's a form of money changing going on, in and out, cash flow, all of that good stuff. And I just really want people to really understand that, there's a different way out there.
Absolutely.
And there's a way that's being practiced. And like you say, knowing where you are can really enable you to say, okay, this is where I'm at, so I can institute a banking policy.
Right.
This is just where you are. It's not because, you're anybody special or anything like that. It's because you just implemented the policy. And that's the biggest thing, is how many people are going to institute the policy. I guarantee you, everybody on this line or most people are going to get cash flow. They're going to get cash flow for sure. They're doing business. I mean, there are people listening to this that make thousands of dollars a month. Thousands of dollars a month, and that money is not being insured. Ladies and gentlemen, if you don't have insurance on your company, that's the business Warren Buffett is in. He's in the insurance business. So I think it's very misleading when individuals don't understand why companies do corporate buybacks.
Yeah.
When you hear these things in the public, these are forms of insurance on themselves.
That's correct.
So I want you all to understand that from everything is finance, everything's paid. If you got money, you're in finance. What do I need to go to school to get a degree for it then? You know what I mean? Everything's finance. We've been dealing with finance since you got your money from your parents for the birthday gift.
Yeah.
If you don't save it, what do? You spend it or you lose it. I mean, it's not too many legal financial terms we need to know here. But for some reason, people go to school, get a 4-year degree, and they still don't know what they're doing with their life.
Yeah.
And we're talking about financial tools, financial mindset, financial strategy, and people say, "Oh, I'm doing well." So, what if you can put yourself in a position where you're actually practicing what all of you are practicing, which is private family banking, private banking. You see it across the board. You see the Rockefellers. You see the Carnegies. You see, like you even explained, Disney. You see individuals that started these companies. They understand internal private banking tactics. That's it. They understand the rules. They have pieces of... I remember when I first heard one of my mentors, he said, the difference between people that are educated or uneducated, he said, is rich people know which tax forms to fill out and which ones not to.
Right.
It's that simple.
That's pretty much it.
So if you all haven't been educated on the same documents that came out at the same time, whether it's trust documents or whether we're talking about insurance, it's all imperative to get that information. That's it. And we're speaking to a very niche and select audience. Everybody's not out for wealth building, wealth generation. But, when
Okay, and by the way, we're recording now. I just got a question on material men. And I have not talked about that in a long time. I mean, but that is a very, very interesting question. And really it demonstrates to me how perceptive you are. Yeah, I mean, that's scary to really see another person, just be perceptive like that, I mean, it's a good in a good kind of way, not scary in a bad kind of way. It's like, damn, somebody actually was perceptive like that.
The scary part is that once you start realizing what's really going on, that's the scary part. But once again, it's not so scary. It starts taking away the fear once you understand that.
Right. So,
or at least try to understand it.
All right, so let's talk about that material men. Where is that? I gotta remember where it talks about the money.
And I'll tell you how I kind of was went from material men back to material facts and some things in between. And once I start connecting them dots with contracts and insurance, boy, woo!
Yep. Okay. What was that in the Constitution that Let me go back to the Constitution. I'm trying to remember Constitution for the United States of America. Okay, hold on. Let's see.